Hey, what's up? This is that Custom Works tornado body for a sport mod class. Um, Had a question about how this thing's put together and how you should cut it. Well, I didn't cut mine right, so I'm going to show you what I think I did wrong on mine. So if you look at pictures that are online, there's a bump here, kind of like a ridge and a ridge. If you notice any of the pictures, it comes out about this much more. So mine's actually cut short. And then also, if you notice, you have kind of this edge to it right here, right? You get a good angle on it though. And so I got a caliper tool. I can show you how it's cut right now. So to take a caliper tool, it's 5.4 thickness, 5.5 right here. And I think, I forget for sure, but I think you can leave that thicker and that'll give you a little more strength. From this part here down, see, so from this ridge, like say I put it in that corner right there to here, that is 17.1. 17.1, and that is from that ridge to the bottom there. Oh wait, hold on. This ridge to the bottom there. 13.1. My bad. 13.1. So I know for a fact I'm gonna bring up some pictures in this video, and you're gonna see that is more. I cut mine short, and I haven't had problems. I mean, I guess you might want it short, maybe yes or no. Depends on how you, I think I made a mistake. I just cut it short by accident, you know? And then I realized, I was like, it's hard to tell where the line is on this when you get this car. So, and I looked for videos on how to cut this car, cut the tornado body. So I'm making a video, you know, of what I think I did wrong. But I do win with this car. It does pretty good. At Delta RC, the outdoor oval, he does a 5.3 around. Is the best time it's got. One thing I'm not afraid of is putting weight on my car. I like heavy cars. Something to think about. This is on the side you would want weight. In the rules, it does say, one of the first rules, it says on our rule sheet, it says no weight rule. So, but that is something to still, you want to check with your track if you get teched. They never said nothing about having a driver head. Adds a little high weight. It's a higher weight. It's not on my chassis. So, I mean, that can be not that great either, but it's worked for me. I mean, this body's really good. I've won 3rd overall in the Winter Series, and yeah, one of the first things that goes on these cars is this front end right here. You see how it's starting to chip away. So when you first get this car, my recommendation would be to make a template of everything, because you can rebuild all this stuff with plastic, and you can kind of just heat it up, bend it. And you can kind of make your own body. I bring up some pictures in this video too, where I'll talk about how people kind of made their own. It gives you an idea. You can get the same kind of Lexan or thin plastic. Also, there's a sign material. I think is Home Depot. They have like a sign that you can use. Sign materials. I forget what it is. I'll be honest. I've heard all kinds of stuff you can get. Go to Tap Plastics or something. I don't know. So what I also changed on this is I added the little colored you know, fasteners. They come with these ones. So if you look all over the car, they're all like white, you know. So you could change those if you'd like. I just did it for whatever, you know. Again, I like heavy cars. There's a lot of sticker. There's a lot of decal, I mean, on this car. A lot of paint. Um, Always cool to have some detail. I feel like if you add detail to your car, it just makes it look a lot better. I mean, that's why we're out there too, is to kind of represent a certain scale, a certain look, and trying to get it to go fast. I just hate to see cars that don't have numbers or anything. It's just kind of weird to me. And if I don't have a driver right there, these bodies don't come with a driver. To me, honestly, it don't look right. It just doesn't look right if you don't at least have a helmet there or something. Um, Usually you'd want to keep this clear traditionally. But I kind of think it's weird because in a real car, I'm not sure they have a clear one either. So I'm kind of weird like that about stuff. So this is the first one I ever built, and I'll let you know right now. One of the mistakes I made, I think, was see how this kind of swoops down. Well, I cut as much as I could away from the roof so there could be more airflow through here. But it didn't make a difference when I left it on the newer one because I was like, I didn't like how this sags. It looks kind of weird. It like sags and I cut it wrong. So if you really look at it, I don't like the way this one's cut. And it's kind of floppy like that. Now look at this one. It's a little more rigid. It doesn't do that floppy shit and it's like straight. I even put some little fucking micro detail right there. Little slap sticker bullshit. Yeah, you can tell grandma about it. She'll fucking appreciate that. This one's got a driver too. So you could use like a Pez head. Let me see if you can see this guy. You could use like fucking Pez head. Just put a little head in there. It's kind of small for this scale. I want to say this scale is actually a fucking 1/8 scale, mod car, like a dirt mod car. Because of the size of it, dude, that's not 1/10 scale. 1/10 is when they have the B mod class when you take a buggy, and that's more 1/10. That's a 1/10 street stock car. Well, I'm building another one where I can use that body that I got. That's like a Monte Carlo square body. It's gonna look more stock car and shit. You know what I mean? I fucking like that. Fucking make it look all detailed and whatnot. But yeah, that's how you fucking gotta paint these things up, section by section. Use a drill bit for the hole. I forget the size, but you just match up a drill bit that's gonna work for you. That will allow this to fit through. So you just do a little drill bit. I attached my what's it called? This doesn't make a difference. I got a better lap time after I did this so none of this shit you add to these cars, it doesn't drag them down. I mean, I don't know what secrets that I'm missing, but I don't think I'm really missing nothing on, these bodies get so fucking thrashed out and people still win. This thing will be flopping up and, all over the place, and dude will still take, top podium, because it's a little bit of drag, but if you know how to drive, you just get through the traffic and, do what you gotta do. You ain't no thing. So this has a wing, and then you stabilize the wing kind of like where the hole would line up right there. Watch this. See, I'll show you something right here. This right here. So that right there is how much lip from that ridge right there, from that little lip to the bottom. You see how big that is? 14.0, right? So that one I left long for the nose piece. This one I just recently cut it because I noticed every time I brought it back it was scraping up what's it called? Look at the difference. I'm putting the thing to the ridge there. Now we were 14.0. Now we're gonna see how short this one is. This one is about 10.5. So we use four. The other one's 4 millimeter longer. Again, I didn't see no difference. It wasn't affecting the car any type of way. Like I said, I probably cut that shit wrong, if anything. You know what I mean? Because that's how I felt about it. It was like cut wrong or whatever. But yeah, no. My advice is to leave as much as possible and then run the car and then see how much you need to cut off, and just bring Lexan scissors and some tape to the track, you know. But I would go long first, because you want it as rigid as possible. The more you cut away, stuff like this happens. Like, you see how that's cracked right there? So my body's a little more thin. Like, I'm gonna get more cracks. This thing's gonna disintegrate quicker than something if I left it a little more chunkier, if I left this a little thicker, or you know what I mean? Because I think I cut that a little thin too. I would go around the whole body and figure out where I want to cut the body line. It's very hard to see the body line, so you might want to take a marker or something and just kind of like trace out where that line might be, because I didn't do that and I kept losing the line, and that's why I ended up cutting it that way. Don't forget the roof. I'd leave it a little more rigid. Leave that roof rigid. Yeah. So if you take a look at this picture, this is like the nose cone, or the original nose they have a photo of, and you can see that there's a lot more left on that. Compared to mine, it was like the first one I showed you, like my orange car that I did, and you can definitely see that they left a lot more. So I already cut mine, made it too short. This here is the full body of it here. And you can see that part on the bottom is a little more fuller, and I think it curls in slightly more than what I left. That's going to give you more rigidity, or give you a little more stability. I think you're going to want to leave that more and try and figure out where your line is. And this is the idea for making your own.